The Unity UI Styler is a simple plugin for Unity that centralizes the setup of your game's UI elements. It works in a similar way to cascading style sheets, enabling the separation of your UI content from its appearance. Doing this means you can rapidly adjust your entire UI's look and feel from a central point, and this will drastically improve your development efficiency when working with UI. This video will provide a basic overview of how the system works. In this scene, I've created some standard UI elements such as images, text fields, and buttons. And I've also created a UI Styler asset, which can be edited using the normal Unity inspector. We'll cover this in more detail later. In order to create one of these in your scene, you'll need to go to the Assets Create menu, and you'll see the UI Style option near to the top. So taking a look at the UI Styler asset provided with the plugin, you can see that we've created two image styles, header and background. These are linked to the header at the top of the UI and the background panel shown here. If I choose the color setting of the header element, I can adjust the color of the header widget and it will update within the scene. This can be done in either the editor for offline changes or at runtime to change the color dynamically during the game. And we can do the same for the background element. The beauty of this system is that we can apply these changes to multiple elements within the scene and affect their properties simultaneously. I can demonstrate this behavior with the button style type. In this example, I have a button style called Section Button, which is the style applied to the three large buttons on the left. So, if I adjust the color using the picker, you can see that all three update at the same time. This is also true of the image property as I'm demonstrating now. The way that these styles are applied to the individual UI elements in the scene is through a component. So, selecting one of the buttons in the scene and taking a look at its properties in the inspector, we can see that there is a component on the game object called Stylable UI Element. This component simply needs to be pointed towards the UI Styler asset, which is the style we were previously editing as shown here. When the UI Styler asset is selected, the component will create a list of available styles for the type of UI element on the current game object. So you can see in this example, we have the options Section Button and Submit Button. If we take a look back at the UI Styler asset, you can see that those are the names which we've given to the styles. If I was to change one of those style names in the UI Styler asset and return to the component on our actual button, you can see that the list has now been updated to reflect this change. You should note therefore that it is very important that the names provided to the UI Styler asset are unique. The plugin also comes bundled with a couple of handy editor utilities which should help improve your workflow when using the Unity UI Styler. These can be found under the Window UI Styler Options menu item. Selecting this option will open the Tools panel. The panel is currently divided into two sections. The top section provides a way of applying a default UI style asset to any new UI elements that you create in your scene. So for example, if we create a new UI element such as a button, and to that button we add a stylable UI element component, you will note that it is automatically applied the chosen default UI styler asset. The second section of the Tools panel has a handy feature to allow us to globally replace the UI styler asset on all stylable UI components in the current scene. This can be really useful if you want to construct several differing styles and then switch between them. So in this example, we've created an additional UI styler asset called Second Style. If we drag that asset into the tool and hit the Apply button, you can see that the entire scene has now been restyled using the new styler asset. That concludes this video about the Unity UI Styler plugin. The plugin is available from the Unity Asset Store and is bundled with all of the demo content shown in this video. The plugin is entirely written in C# and all source code is provided. There are no DLLs or platform-specific files, meaning that the system should integrate perfectly into any Unity project. We hope you've enjoyed this video and we welcome any feedback which you may have.